Hey, I am Mia, and today we're going to talk about what is a man, what is a woman. In this video, Mia is going to share her perspective on the same issue from two different points of view. This point of view, as this Mia is going to be very PC, and this Mia cares nothing about politics, so I'm going to just tell you like it is. So recently, I have been delving into the topic of, you know, what is a man, what is a woman, what does that really mean? And I have come across some scholars who have been doing this work for what seems to be like eons, forever. These are people who are melanin rich for the most part, but I'm not going to speak any names because I feel like sometimes when people hear names and they don't necessarily agree with everything that that person says, they cut themselves off from the message. And it's my belief that that's not a smart way to learn or to live. That when you are so blocked by a name or the messenger, who the message comes from, whether or not the message is true, and if you can apply it in your own life and in your own way, we manage to. Oh no, I'm not really trying to hear that. You got that from who? Who? Oh no, I don't listen to them. I don't listen to them. You get caught up so much by the name, by the title, that you basically wash away the gift that was given to you. So, message. At this time, I'm not going to mention any names who I've been listening to, reading, and really focusing on, but I'd rather just share the message and hopefully start a dialogue and a conversation and contribute my voice to the conversation. Whenever the question comes up, you know, what is a man, what is a woman? The first thing that most people will say in terms of what is a man is a provider, a man is a protector. He's a man of the house. He takes care of everything. He's a leader. He's my dad, he's my grandpa. He goes to work every day. He pays the bills. He buys the groceries, he gets my nails done, he gets my hair done, he takes me out. That's a man. Well, I took it upon myself to write those things down, but I also went online and I wanted to look up the definitions on the web, accessible to everyone. So if you look this up, you can find this. But, you know, what is a man? Of course, the provider, the protector. I found problem solver. I found the term man in terms of a verb is to run, to operate, and to defend. It's the adult male, the head of the house, and in astrological terms, it's the Aries. Now, in terms of what is a woman, when I looked up what is a woman, you have the mother, you have the nurturer, you have the caretaker. I found this, and I promise you, if you Google what is a woman or the definition of a woman, this will come up. I used Google Chrome, I'm telling you everything I used, and it came up as female worker or employee. What? And when you really know the etymology of worker and employee, that will take that definition to a whole nother meaning for you. Adult female, and in astrological terms, Venus. When you look at all those words and you really sit down with them and think about them, you realize that those are social constructs, and more so those are functions. Those are jobs. Those are not the essence of a being. That is, those words are not words that are used to describe something to its core. Those are words used to place upon something what other people or what the group as a whole feels that they should do based on who they are. You're not answering the question of what is a man when you say provider, protector. He pays the bills, he has the job. You know, you're not answering the question. It requires an opening of the mind to go deeper, and this is something that in one of the videos of one of the scholars that I have been I guess, studying under indirectly, it really opened my own eyes to really come to grips like, okay, I've been functioning on all of these terms all of my life to describe a man. To describe the woman, no, that's not so much. But particularly the man, provider, protector, those are the two main ones. What we're taught, that's what we're told, but that's not it. Okay, so I've written down some things that I've given it some thought. I've, you know, like I said, I've researched, I've listened to different people, I've taken and agreed with some things I have not. But again, this is just my voice contributing to the conversation, because the conversation has always and will always continue to be had. And it's up to everyone to open their eyes and open their minds to contribute. So what is a man in terms of the is and the existence? I say the man is the cause, the man is the intent, the man is the will, the man is the output, the man is the giving principle, the man is the yin, the man is the left brain. And in a really weird way, he's a generator, he's the emitter, okay? But and some people will not agree with this next one, but I will say that the man is the passive. Yeah, so some people won't agree with that, but I'm going to explain a little. The woman is the reflection of the generating, the absorption of the emitter, the receptor, the consent, the input, the receiver, the yang, the right brain, the active, the effect. That is what a woman is. The woman is everything that is the polar of what the male is. And I will say that she is the active. I think that the active and the passive can be interchangeable, actually. I see the elements of the man being active, but on a manifesting level, he is not active. He's passive. And on a manifesting level, the woman or the female is active. So that's a whole nother video. I'm not going to do that right now. Well, basically, a man is the balancing and the counterpart to the female principle. I mean, that's just what it is. It's the equivalent with a different function. Now, this cave that everybody became aware of, the terminology for it from the book, I think Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. I read that book years ago. It was a great book for me at that time because the cave, okay? We're gonna talk about the cave. Recently I have been watching videos by a guy on YouTube. His name is Jerry LaVigne Jr. And he's hilarious, okay? He is hilarious. And he speaks a lot of truth through his humor. Some people can't get past the language. He curses a lot, you know, that's just what he does, that's his style. But if you can get past that and actually pay attention to the message, there is a lot of knowledge in it. In one of his videos, I remember he said, you know, men just want food, sex, and peace and quiet. So thinking about that and planning on doing this video, it came at perfect timing because I understand what he's saying when he says that. Men, the nurturing comes from the food. And my own boyfriend has told me this time and time again. Like, food is love. Like, for men, food is love. Like, just feed me. Like, just give me some. You know, the sexual intercourse is basically men find comfort inside of a woman. Like, that's just what it is. That's how we were made. Socially, you have not been programmed to accept that. What? People have misconstrued it, misguided it. they've damned it pretty much. But the bottom line of why men just want that so much is because that is like coming back home. That's like a place of rest, a place of comfort. Like I don't understand it because that's not me. I'm the woman. So it's like, okay, yeah, like, whoa, like, okay, like, slow down. But it's a part of their nature. The man, in his nature, in his DNA, is the yearning to be able to problem solve and to have the answers and to figure it out and to save the day. And he can't really do that if there's constant distraction. And a lot of the times the constant distraction comes from us because we're not wired that way. We want to talk. Like, what you mean you don't want to talk? You know, like, you just gonna be quiet? Like, you're not gonna say nothing? Like, and that's where it will never be equal. It will never be equal. It just won't. Any man on this planet, I don't care what culture, who would not appreciate a cave. Because what that means to him is that there's a place in this world where he can go and just have quiet and be with his thoughts and figure shit out. Like, real talk. Like, you know, they still love you, they still care for you, but there's certain requirements that they require, and they don't involve you as the woman. And I think that the woman's misinterpretation of this natural need for the male principle has been damned. You know, and of course, I'm not even gonna get on feminism, because basically feminism has just taken that to a whole nother level. At the same time, working in conjunction with demasculinizing the male, it's like, it's so many programs that have been in place for years and years and years that has gotten us to where we are now. You know, we blame each other, we point fingers at each other. And I'm not saying for women to, you know, if you have a male in your life who's not realizing his potential, who has not done the work to connect with himself spiritually, who doesn't know his self-love, who is holding himself back due to emotional inflictions that he's experienced in his life, I'm not telling you to baby him. Comfort is not going to help him, even if he doesn't realize it at this moment. But what I am telling you is to approach and to have a certain level of understanding that what is needed is different from maybe what you've been giving, or maybe what you have been taught that he needs. Like, we're tired of babying, we're tired of being patient, of you trying to like get it. We get that there are like thousands of social programs put into place to put you down because of what you possess, but you're only helping it if you don't seek to search for your own power. Like, if you're not even awake to even ponder the thought of what you possess and what you hold inside of you, and you're just going with the norm, and you're taking in everything that you're told about yourself, or what you've been shown that you can do, and all the limits placed on yourself, like, we're over it. Like, a lot of women right now are waking up, and you know, they say women mature faster than men. I believe it, and I will say that it is a certain responsibility of the woman in these days to help educate. The male, again, the male principle is nothing but the partner, the consort, the equal to the female principle, and they both have different purposes. A man's not gonna do what you're gonna do. A man does not care about what you care about. A man is not interested in what like feeds your soul to the core, because his soul is that of a different requirement. I'm not saying, you know, just leave them behind, because we need them. That's just what it is. We need them, they need us. Who knew? So this male and female principle, you may or may not have heard recently about the rise of the divine feminine. And the funny thing is that every person on this planet has both in them. They have female and male principle energy in them. And the true ultimate challenge or task is to balance both of them. I would say that up until this point, like my yang energy was like on lock. Like I didn't have my yin energy. I think my yin energy was maybe like being reserved or something, but I didn't really tap into my yin energy yet. My yang energy, like my active or my problem solving or like my go-getter, like it's a wrap. Like yeah, yang it out. But now with the rise of the divine feminine, that yin is, you know, my yang is here and my yin is like, you know, I'm working on it. It is your responsibility, woman, if you get it or you feel like you get it and you're learning about it and you're delving deeper into it, it's your responsibility to try to educate. Now, if you come at a man and, you know, you're trying to help him, you're trying to repeatedly over and over and over and just give him messages and tell him and he still don't get it, I don't have any results. I mean, show me the results, show me the receipts. I don't have that. I don't know what is next. But you do have a duty to try and to try to help him see himself, help him reconnect with himself, with his spirit, with his self-love, with who he is, with his power, with his intent, his requirement of being that male principle of will and intent and problem solving. Like that is, you know, within each of us. And again, I say you can't control anybody else. I don't care if you understand another person to the T from their 0 point. You still can't control them. They have to make their own decisions to change their own ways of viewing life and viewing themselves. So with that being said, this still speaks to yourself. This still speaks to your self-growth. And you have to work on yourself to balance those energies. And understanding the energies of both of these principles may help you to do that. The society you live in is not helping you. The society you live in is not designed for you to succeed. It's just not. Like, and if you continue to be a part of this feminist movement where we don't need no man, independent women, okay, independent women, but didn't Beyonce get married? Like, wasn't Kelly engaged and now she with some other dude and Michelle is with dude? Like, if you're really that independent and you singing a song, why you with a man? You don't need no man. You independent. What you need him for? So, you know, you're all wrapped up in a song and dancing, but these women are pointing their fingers at you laughing, or essentially they could, because you've taken yourself to the point where you follow the doctrines of these ratchet ass songs and ratchet meanings constructed by the powers that were to destroy you. Like you've played into it. And I'm not saying that I haven't danced to all these songs and sang them. Okay, yeah, but at what time are you going to wake up? Like, you can't dream forever. You can't be asleep forever. You got to wake up at some time. And when you wake up, that's when the action starts. And then let me speak to women who feel like there are no good men. Like, oh, it's no good men out here. All the men are either gay, in jail, or with white women. Like, that's it. They're gay, in jail, or with white women. I will agree with 67% of that. Okay, a lot of the male principle is in jail. A lot of the male principle is locked up. And it is not a coincidence. A lot of the what could have been male principle was reached in different ways, and now they are gay. And a lot of the male principle are with women of different ethnicities, but I will bring this to you. What is it about that different ethnicity woman that allows him to be his male principle? We are so quick as melanin rich women to be like, oh, he with a white girl, he with a da 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 da. And it's something about their interaction from her as the female principle that allows him to be what nature intended him to. You know it's the truth, because deep down inside of you, you know it's the truth. Because you know you nag, you know you bitch, you know you complain, you know you are looking to him for your emotional support. You know you are looking to him for all of your financial support. You know you are looking to him to be your savior. You know you are looking to him to be everything for you that you are not for yourself. You know, until you work on yourself and you master yourself, you are doing no one else any justice. You are doing no one else any good. You can't help somebody else till you help yourself. If melanin rich women got their acts together and learned their self-love and their self-worth and all the power that is within us, because essentially, like, real talk, like, y'all, I don't think y'all get it. I really don't think y'all get it. But, you know, in terms of men and women and the masculine and the feminine principle, it's a journey, and it will take a lot to get civilization where it needs to be. And you know, it is a requirement that we have each other. We need each other. That's just what it is. There would be, if it wasn't meant to be, we would all still be, what is it, hermaphrodites? Hermaphrodites? We would all be that. We would need each other. We would be both physically and spiritually, and that's what it would be. But at some point, we were split. Just because we were split doesn't mean that we don't still need each other to connect back to each other to make us whole. But you have to be a whole half in order to come together to make a whole one. We sit and point fingers and blame and sing sad songs, you know, R&B singers, you know, have pity parties and do all this, but there's a certain responsibility as the most powerful woman on this planet that you have to live up to. And if you don't do the work to live up to that standard, then you don't deserve anything better than what you're getting. You are attracting what you are. You attract a reflection of yourself. If it's not at that time, it was you in the past or it's you in the future. All you're doing is the people that you come into contact with, especially the men, they are a reflection of you, of who you are at that time. So if you feel like you can't find a good man and all the men who come to you just want this and they just want sex and they just want you to just cook for them and they can leave and do whatever they want to do, then you need to sit down with yourself. And you need to look at yourself, and you need to maybe get some pen and paper. And you might need a whiteboard, a chalkboard, you might need an iPad, you might need everything. Every tool you can get your hands on, because there's something in you that you're not looking at and you're not assessing. Another good point that I just want to bring up, and this was totally borrowed, like totally borrowed from one of the scholars. But you know, a man, and the scholar was a man, so it was very interesting, and I'm very appreciative to hear his perspective. But a man seeks to continue, okay? And a woman is the way in which that will happen. A man does not want his legacy to just be cut off at him. Like, he doesn't want to be the last one. Like, that's failure to him. And especially once he reaches a certain age, like the 40s or 50s, and he's lived his life and he's learned a lot of lessons, and he looks back at his life and he either goes and gets a Corvette, or he realizes, like, you know, I haven't done what I really wanted to do. I wasn't there for who I really, you know, he has this moment of reflection, and he realizes he's not going to last forever. What has he created? What has he done to live on? And the only way that he can live on is through the woman. That's why I say the male principle is the counterpart of the woman. They have to work together in order to do what nature intended and keep this party going. I just wanted to make this video. I wanted to start a conversation. I wanted to have this topic as a part of my video collection, because it's a very serious topic and it's very important, especially in melanin rich communities. Yes, this video is partly what is a man, what is a woman, what is a man. Let's break down a man and what, you know, where he's gotten off path at. But I'm not leaving the women out, because essentially we have to lead this thing. Like, in a way, I'm not saying on all levels of this thing, and thing when I say thing, but in a way, on some level of this thing, we have to be the leaders. That's just it. That's bottom line. We lead by example. We lead by nurturing. If you give a man what he needs, he will not go anywhere. Why would he go somewhere? He's not going. Where's he going to go? Because if he tries to go somewhere and comes back and you've done all of the work and you respect yourself on the level that you should respect yourself, you're not going to tolerate that. And then he's going to have his crying pity party because he made a dumbass mistake and he realizes it now. But they're like, you gotta do some work. Male principle, female principle, what is a man, what is a woman? I just hope that people will start to ask this question to themselves, to their friends, to their family, and really try to make sense of it and look beyond what you're taught in terms of just wording and then giving them a job description. Okay, you got to do some work. You got to figure out who you are. You got to look inside yourself. You got to find your beauty. You got to find your majestic essence, and you got to do it, because you owe it to yourself, and you owe it to hopefully the man that you will attract into your life, who will bring that ultimate divine balance to who you are. Because when you're born, you're not born with a job description. You weren't born to have a job that places a social construct on you. Like, that wasn't your purpose. I am Mia, and this was my first video of attempting to tackle the what is a man, what is a woman question. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.